It wasn't just another night under the lights. It was a full-blown spectacle right in the heart of Times Square. The kind of event that screams, "Boxing is back," with cameras flashing, crowds roaring, and hype flying higher than ever. But when Rolando Romero and Ryan Garcia stepped into the ring, the atmosphere cracked with something more volatile than electricity: expectation. The fight that was meant to set the stage for future mega showdowns ended up flipping the script. Romero walked away with a clear-cut, unanimous decision win, but it wasn't just his performance that had people talking. It was what happened behind the scenes, in the shadows of the ropes, that left jaws on the floor. Because while Romero was stacking rounds, someone else was throwing verbal jabs in Ryan's own corner. This wasn't just about fists flying. It was about a power play unfolding in real time. In a moment that shocked fans and rattled insiders, Turki Alalshikh, Saudi Arabia's sports czar and one of the most powerful men shaping the global boxing landscape, made his way to Ryan Garcia's corner during the fight. That's right. The man funding some of the biggest events in the sport literally marched up and urged Garcia to throw some punches. That wasn't a coach giving advice. That was a shot of adrenaline straight from the top, but it fell flat. Ryan looked checked out, uninspired, like his body was in the fight, but his heart had left the arena hours before. The moment that was supposed to rally him only underscored the truth. Garcia wasn't really trying to win. He was surviving. And in that moment, the dreams of a blockbuster rematch with Devin Haney died before our eyes. This wasn't just a loss, it was a collapse. Eddie Hearn, the man behind the matchmaking magic, had plans to light a firestorm by bringing Haney into the ring post fight for a stare down. It was all set, cameras ready, scripts prepared. But when the bell rang for the final, time in Garcia's hand wasn't raised. The entire house of cards came crashing down. There was no Haney face-off, no rematch announcement. Just an awkward silence and a sea of disappointed faces who came expecting history and left with a question mark. It was a bitter reminder that no matter how much you plan, boxing is chaos. And chaos doesn't care about your pay-per-view projections. Romero wasn't done throwing punches after the final bell. He lit up the post-fight interviews with raw honesty, calling out Garcia's performance and taking aim at the entire structure propping up modern boxing. According to Raleigh, Garcia has what it takes to go on a dominant run, if he wants it. But that "if" is the real fight. Raleigh even went so far as to say Ryan would beat Haney again if they squared off, purely on physical gifts like power and size. But Garcia's problem wasn't ability, it was urgency. He had none. And when Raleigh shifted gears to talk about Haney's fight with Jose Ramirez, his words dripped with contempt. "I couldn't even watch it," he said, mocking how dull the action was. "I didn't want to fall asleep before my own fight." That wasn't trash talk. That was a sniper, shot at the soft underbelly of boxing's next generation. Romero didn't just torch Garcia and Haney, he lit the whole card on fire. He slammed Turki's decision to even put Haney on such a big stage, saying it was a mistake to showcase a fighter who wasn't ready for the spotlight. In Raleigh's eyes, Haney should have been buried down the card, away from the prime time crowd. He wasn't just criticizing the fighters, he was ripping the blueprint. "You want fans to care?" he asked, eyes blazing. "Then stop handing guys fights no matter what. Stop overpaying them like it's a charity." Raleigh didn't flinch when he added Canelo Alvarez to that list, dragging the legend into the mud. Canelo, too. He's not fighting to be great anymore. He's fighting for his next check. For Romero, it's not about skill anymore. It's about fire. And most of these guys don't have it. What made Raleigh's tirade sting so much is that it wasn't baseless. He peeled back the curtain and revealed the uncomfortable truth. A lot of today's biggest names aren't fighting for legacy. They're clocking in for a paycheck. Romero painted a grim picture of fighters who already know what's next, regardless of how they perform. That safety net, he argued, kills hunger, and fans feel it. Devin Haney looked nervous, hesitant, even scared to take a punch against Ramirez. It wasn't strategy. It was survival. And when a fighter's instinct is to survive instead of conquer, what's left for the sport? Romero said it plainly. They're not fighting to win, they're fighting to collect. And that sentiment cuts deeper than any jab, because it means the real fight, the one for boxing's soul, is happening outside the ring. You want to talk about painful truths? Let's talk matchmaking. According to Romero, fighters like Garcia and Haney aren't even elite. They're decent, Talented, sure, but they're not killers. They've been made to look like world beaters through cherry-picked opponents and, in Haney's case, some very questionable judging. The illusion worked for a while, but now that they're getting real tests, the cracks are showing. As for Canelo, Romero didn't hold back. He's washed, he's old, he's staying relevant by ducking real threats like Benavidez and Morel. These aren't just spicy opinions, they're warnings. If boxing keeps propping up fighters who don't have the fire anymore, the fans will eventually walk. And when that happens, all the Saudi money in the world won't save it.